What is going on, guys? Welcome, wherever you are. Good morning, good evening, good night. My name is Roman Cooper-Chan, one of the founders here of The Revolution and top leader in iMarkets Life. But today, this recording was made, and this call with the team was made to teach the average individual of how to trade with Bitcoin, with all the possible trend that is going on with cryptos. Us personally, we trade within the Forex. We trade currencies like the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, the Great Britain pound, USD. But we also I realized that we can trade Bitcoin as well. So we will also discuss the difference between trading Bitcoin, owning Bitcoin. And yeah, absolutely, you can always come back to this recording. Hit us up. One thing, disclaimer, I wanted to note is that trading involves risk. There is absolute no guarantee that using possibly the strategies or what we're going to discuss today will bring or guarantee any consistent profits for you. So trade at your own risk, trade with your own due diligence, do your research, right? That is one of the most important things. If you're getting affiliated with any company, do your own due diligence, your research, just because you cannot get scammed if you understand what you are doing, right? With that being said, I have an amazing individual here that is going to discuss this subject with me, my good friend, my good brother, Russ. Let's start with, what's the difference between trading Bitcoin and owning Bitcoin? Cryptocurrency being one of the major trends right now. I know when Bitcoin was created, there was a major vision behind it as being a kind of better exchange system, a currency online. And since you are on this video, you probably know that it's a huge trend. Went from literally nothing to now over 15.8K US, but reached a high of 20K, $20,000, which is insane, right? Some people say go to 50K, 100K, 1 million. You never know. We can't predict the markets, but we can adapt to it. So Russ, before I tell any difference, did you want to add anything of what do you know about Bitcoin and maybe your vision behind it?
So Bitcoin is actually really changing the game up. It's stopping everybody from using a central banking system within their own community, and this is allowing people to adapt to more things larger than just the country they're in, right? That's one of the crazy things behind it. So I can pretty much be in Canada and use it and send it to a friend all the way down in Australia, in New Zealand, in Europe, right? It's really breaking the borders away and letting you do different things. And now it's really coming into play with giant companies allowing you to use it as an actual currency for them, right? So that's really where it's changing everything up. It's stopping borders and countries' currencies from being the kings in that country. And this is just the beginning. Like, we literally just seen the large trend of it happening just recently. But to know it hasn't even been out for 10 years. So to know what it's going to be like when my children are around is going to be really insane with that, right?
One thing I would definitely note is that there is a lot of hype involved. When there's a new hot stock, when there's something hot out there in the trend, people jump on, sometimes without even looking what they're jumping into, right? One of the things I realized is that Bitcoin tends to take 4 steps forward, 2 steps back, 4 steps forward, 2 steps back. So when people say, oh, Bitcoin is rising, like I think I was trading it, it went up $6,000 in a matter of a day or two. And people are saying it's a bubble, with parabolic kind of form. When it rises and completely shoots up. It's a parabola, they say. And usually in the markets, it doesn't end well. This is why there was a whole retracement of about $4,000 to $5,000 in a matter of a day or two as well. But so one thing to note is, guys, do your research. Think about it. Don't lean into other people. Oh, just because they did it, I'm going to do it. No, take that information and perceive it in your own way. So I personally believe highly in the vision of Bitcoin being a massive cryptocurrency. When internet launched, there were a bunch of flaws as well. You got the deep web who launched. A lot of people don't know about the deep web, probably here as well. But then you also have like reconstructing and better people trying to make things better, like Ethereum, for example, which launched was just a mere $10, I think, in January. Now it's $700, $800. It's like Internet 2.0, trying to be better, with a higher technology, right? Um, so definitely don't get involved with the emotions, with the hype. So perceive the information in your own way and decide whether you want to trade or whether you want to own it. Now the difference, I'm going to tell you the difference. Um, Investing into Bitcoin means you will own it physically, kind of in your wallet, right? You will own it digitally as an asset. And you can wait for the price to rise. Now, from what I understand, by no means am I an expert, am I a guru, but from what I understand is that there's a specific supply of the cryptocurrency, and the demand is just rising, right? People are mining it, people are buying it, and if you look at economics, when the demand of something is so high but the supply is limited, well, that's how the price tends to shoot up so fast and so dramatically. So now, investing into it is meaning you're going to own it. You can wait for it. Let's say you invested 7 grand into one Bitcoin. I don't know when that was, a month, 2, 3, 4 months ago. Now your 7 grand, your one Bitcoin is worth $16,000. So if you're looking long-term vision with the people who think that it's going to shoot up to 50, 100, 200K, you can invest into it. Now trading, we will show you. I will actually show you. I don't know if Russ, you've ever traded Bitcoin. Better trader 4. Okay, good. Now we're going to show you how we were able to trade and also possibly make much, 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 much more money trading it than actually owning it. So there are pros and cons. You can decide to do one. You can decide to do both. The pros of one, you can own it. If Bitcoin is some sort of top 5%. Only accessible to the rich or only accessible to the ones who own Bitcoin, well, you'll be one of those because you own it. But trading, you don't own it, but you can make more money. So decide whichever you want. You can do both, like I said. Russ, if you want to add something before I share some charts, go ahead, shoot it, brother.
For sure. Another thing I really want to add to this, the whole aspect of trading cryptocurrencies is really just starting to roll out now. And also just buying and holding, like we are hitting the top and the start of a trend. So what you guys are actually, you're getting on before a lot of other people know this. I think it's maybe like 5% or 10% of people in Europe actually know about cryptocurrencies, and even less than that own it. And when it's becoming such a large thing, you're really hitting it before anything. A difference between buying and holding versus trading as well. Trading involves, they both have risk to it, right? Trading is literally just like trading cryptocurrency, or just like trading currency with it. So you don't have to worry about holding it long term and seeing a crash in the market unless you traded that day. Whereas if you're holding it, you can worry about the fluctuation of the economy and see if you bought it for a certain price, but the economy tanked and it maybe goes down. That's the difference with it as well, as I'm sure you guys will know.
Yeah, personally, I don't really understand how people are able to trade different cryptocurrencies who haven't launched to the point where Ethereum and Bitcoin are right now. The bigger the for example, Bitcoin is 16K. Well, it has more margins. It can create some sort of patterns. Now, cryptocurrencies or ICOs that are launching that are barely a cent or 5 cents or 10 cents, I don't really understand personally how you can trade it rather than investing in going long, going on the buy side, just buy it 1 cent, sell it $1, sell it $10, whatever type of thing. But what I started realizing is Bitcoin itself started to create some patterns. Now, how I was confidently able to trade Bitcoin is because we got the proper education from iMarkets Live that I personally got. The patterns that I was able to identify on Bitcoin is something that I've also learned trading currencies. Now, currencies can involve not only crypto, but currencies like the USD, Canadian, GBP, right, JPY, currencies like oil, currencies like gold, right? So let me just share my screen here with you really quickly. You'll understand what I mean. By the way, I'm not promoting iMarkets Live here or what we do. It's just to show you that we actually have some basic education behind our trading. Right now I'm sharing tradingview.com. It's a free site. There's also a professional format behind it, but we're looking at Bitcoin right now. For those of you who have zero knowledge about trading, every single red and green thing you see here is called a candlestick. Now, every candlestick right now represents an hour. Okay, here I can change it. Each candlestick represents a day. So if you just look at the daily time frame, you can see a little bit what I mean by parabola. See, Bitcoin was almost at nothing here and completely shot up, starting around, what is this, 2000, November, starting in November. Now you can also move here. Of course, back in the day a little bit, this would be bigger. So now I'm going to talk mostly for my team and the people who actually already have some sort of basic knowledge behind trading, just because we're all on different levels here. So if you do not understand what I'm saying, maybe go research it, maybe go ask me, shoot us a message. But I'll go right away to tell you what I see right now. How I started trading is that I saw, on a daily time frame, there's a massive Fibonacci level right there. Uptrend, started right from the bottom, put it to the top, wick to wick, and this trend right here, well, I was able to profit right there when I wasn't able to profit when it was a retracing, but I got around here and a few scalps on the other side. So if I go on the 4-hour now, we see one thing. It tends to make patterns like any other currencies out there. It doesn't just shoot up. It goes up, retraces, breaks some sort of ceiling, some sort of resistance, tests again, goes again, and over and over and over and over again. This is one of the things you can realize right now. Now, here you can identify the highest high, like the record ever was almost 20K, if not 20K. Boom, boom, boom. So right now, I remember how I traded is I got on a position here. I think I saw this wick. I put a small position right there. I'll also discuss positions, lot sizes, etc. How's the money calculated? I think I wrote all the way there and once here. But then when this shut down, I saw the daily Fibonacci, and I'm like, you know what? This is a 50%. If we jump on the 1 hour now, here the 50%. Even though I saw these candlesticks, I was pretty confident from the 50% zone, and this is where I bought actually, or either here or this candlestick right there when it did some sort of double bottom with this candlestick. That's where I entered. But recently, especially, I realized that it started creating a lot of patterns. Where was it? I saw a triangle at some point. Was it this? I think this is, Russ, this is what we used to look at just the day we met, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think there was one.
I think it was this.
Yeah, I don't think it was quite filled out that much, but that's for sure the time that we were doing it, the days.
Yeah. Let me change this real quick. Create a zone. Yeah. So just right here, I saw this uptrend, this major uptrend. Now, after an uptrend, sometimes the market tends to create some sort of, you can say, patterns. This was one of them that I identified was a triangle right there. Boom, boom. So after this big uptrend, the market did some sort of wave consolidation. I think I calculated was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I forgot. But I remember when it started consolidating here, I had a second line right there, a second support line. And that's where I bought, and it exploded. Yeah, and now I think I cashed out about here when I saw all these wicks, 2 or 3 wicks. I cashed out, and I remember on the retracement when I saw this huge wick and close, that's where I got in for another position. Now, for positions, for those who have no knowledge or haven't been following us, and for the people on the video as well, I'll show you how the money works here, how the value and stuff. So I don't know with what broker. You need to make sure that you do your own research with the broker and what they offer you. But I personally trade with JFX, so John Anthony Forex. And what I know with him, the smallest lot size is 0.01, right? Now, 0.01, what I realized with Bitcoin, for every $10 movement with Bitcoin, you gain or lose, a dollar. You profit or lose $1. All right, so for every $10 movement with Bitcoin, you are either $1 in profit or $1 in a drawdown or loss. Meaning, if Bitcoin went from, let's say, 10K to $11,000, that equals $100, right? What does this mean? Right from the bat, what does this mean? For one, for people who don't have a lot of capital, let's say 1,000, well, even less, just $500. This is about $5,000 of cushion that will let you be in the markets without being blown away, right? So for example, if you saw this huge 61% Fibonacci and you decided to enter a position here, let's say you're aiming to go all the way back to the high. You're a very patient trader. You want to see this go all the way to the high. It's almost $9,000 of profit, which on your position would be $900. Well, you have about $5,000 of cushion since your account is at 500. So all this of cushion that you actually can take as drawdown. Now, this is, by the way, an all-in move. This is 100% risk. Not something I would guarantee, but it's also hard not to go 100% all in if you have $100 account or $200 account. Very, very, very hard because Bitcoin tends to fluctuate a lot. If you look here, it goes up 4K, goes down 3K, goes up. If you saw here, it went the recent trend that happened on the longer time frame. It went up 5-6K and dropped 4-5K. So if you have a small account of $100, $200, you're out, right? This is why I suggest the people who are watching this, if you do not have a minimum of $500, don't risk your capital. I personally say this just because I don't want you guys to be blowing your accounts and then saying, oh, well, I learned from Roman and Russ how to trade Bitcoin and, you know. So yeah, 0.01 is $1 profit or loss for every $10 movement. Now, 10 exit means what? 0.1 equals for every dollar movement, let's just say that, for every dollar movement with Bitcoin, you profit or lose $1. So it's 1 for 1. Right? So if Bitcoin goes up $10,000, well, you make $10,000. If it goes down 5K, you lose 5K as well, depending also if you have a stop loss or where you get out. So essentially, if you traded this right here, if you took it right from the bottom of this wick all the way to where we at right now, Bitcoin price fluctuated all the way to 4,000. Let's round it up to $4,200. Means if you had a position of 0.1, you would have made $4,200. Now, mind you, if you only have $1,000 account, you only have $1,000 cushion right there, even less. So it's very, very hard to get your account blown. This is why I personally started realizing how Bitcoin works. I started using 0.01 per minimum 500, but I'm aiming for 1,000. So right now I'm about to hit 1,000 and I'm going to switch to 0.02. That leaves me about $5,000 of cushion because I'm personally confident unless Bitcoin just crashes and I'm out. I'm personally confident with analyzing patterns in the market, getting perfect entries, identifying how the trend moves, the Fibonacci and all that Forex lingo to identify that I have a $5,000 cushion. I'm pretty confident that it's going to go my way, right? Now, the last thing, that's goals right there. Of course, you can go higher and bigger, but what we call standard lots, I don't know if with Bitcoin you'd call it the same thing. For every $1 move with Bitcoin, you profit $10. So if let's say you had a position, the same position right there, which Bitcoin moved $4,200, well, you would have made
41,000.
Thank you. Freaking awesome. I don't know what about you guys, but this is freaking awesome. Now, if you use the strategy of, let's say, 0.01 per $1,000, that means 10K for 0.1 means 100K for 1.0. Now let's do the math. All right. Let's say you have 100K. I just want to show you this example. Let's say you have 100K right there. You cannot see this, so let me erase it. Guys, if you want to take a screenshot, do it now, or come back to the recording. So let's say you do have 100K, $100,000, and let's say you just invested into Bitcoin. You just bought 5 Bitcoin. Let's just round it to 20K, all right? Bought Bitcoin at 20K with 100K equals 5 Bitcoins, right? Now, let's just suppose Bitcoin goes from Bitcoin in 2018, BTC goes from 20K to 100K, right? 5 times from what we started the year. Let's just suppose. I'm not a guru. I'm not a prediction market here. But essentially, your 5 Bitcoins to which you invested 100K are now worth 500K, right? If I'm doing the math correctly, 5 times, right? So now all the 5 Bitcoins that you have are worth 500K. But let's say you put just that one position, that proper risk management, I support proper risk management. Let's say you put 1.0 trading lot size.
Yep.
So you would put it in January and you would close it next January or by the end of 2018 when Bitcoin moved from 20K to 100K. Well, it moved what? A difference of 80K, but you made $800,000. So just to show you the difference, you can physically or digitally own Bitcoin, but you can also make more money trading it. Right? So just quick math right here. Boom. Right? Russ, do you want to add something?
Yeah, there's a couple things I want to add. First of all, there's multiple patterns you can draw to trade cryptocurrencies. So the triangle that Roman drew is a
I
little
saw
different from what I
harmonic.
typically draw. And the other thing is that cryptocurrency is a little bit different than regular currency, as in it's backed not by a country. So different things can make it be more volatile. Yeah, it has more. It can move differently than currencies, right? So with currencies, big banks or big businesses or countries can actually influence the market that way. Whereas in crypto, it's not as much that influencing it as we are as a people. So that's the difference for that. So you also want to be careful for that, because what could happen is somebody who has a fair amount of Bitcoin could dump it and the price will drop, and or you catch the trend early, like we just did within the last couple of months, and people are buying, making the price skyrocket, right? So that's the another difference that I really wanted you guys to know, just because that the influence that has in how your money works with this is different than just regular currencies.
Massive. Um, so if anybody here asking me right now, oh well, what would you do right now? Well, I'll show you what I did today. I was actually able to profit, I think, $300. I had these going on. Now I've been following it for a while now. You know, with the holidays, the other currencies. I don't know, but I haven't looked into JPY or GBP or AUD. But with Christmas here in North America, the USD and the Canadian might be somewhat slow. So I've been following a little bit of Bitcoin. Um, with the holidays, it's been fluctuating here in the lower aspect compared to what it was about a week or two ago. Now, this was, I think this was last night. I can't really see. The 24th. Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is Christmas. This is where I started profiting. And I was somewhat scalping it too. So I saw these zones, these support and resistance zones. I entered about here. I missed this one. Okay, I missed this bottom here. So I got in there, right here. I saw this break test, I entered. I think I profited all the way here. So on a 0.01, which I had, this is $100. No, that was more. So I was here. My first position was $130 right there, right? I saw this quick trend line as well. Trend line right here. The downtrend trend line was broken. I think I had it here or somewhere there. It was broken, so I deleted it. Now here, I had the high. I had this zone. I remember quitting here. When this happened, I had another small position. No, right there. Right here, this consolidation. I saw this consolidation with my trend line, and I decided to enter right there. Boom. That's where it shot up, and I had another position. So just to show you that it follows technicals a lot. All you have to do, sometimes it might not respect 100%, but all you have to do is adapt, just like in other currencies, or even stocks. Like at the end of the day, most successful traders, I realize, are the ones who are able to adapt. So if you don't get a perfect entry, well, close the position, enter better, or just stay patient. You know, let's see. I think I had it here.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, you can draw a pattern right there.
Yeah, this one. One, two. Well, man,
Right where it consolidates, I see a type of flag. It's not a flag saying whether it's going to go up or down, but it's actually just drawing it. And where you see the breakout is typically which way the trend's going to go. And it worked perfectly in that situation.
Yeah. I don't know if you see this, but I see some sort of like harmonic here. I'm like, I'm not like, I've been following a lot of the harmonics canon. I don't know the ratios by heart, but this to me looks like a harmonic right there.
I
So
don't trade harmonics. I strictly pretty much pattern trade right now.
yeah, not really sure after Christmas. I think in New Year's this price is going to be blasting through the roof. Me personally, if you guys want to do it the safe way, wait for this to break. Wait for this current resistance to break. As you see, there's wicks all over. If you miss this, like support resistance, go check your support resistance, like education, not to be mean. So I would wait for this to break, test, and then you can look forward a long position to here or there, wherever you're looking for. Me personally, I'm looking always for 2-to-1 risk management. Risk to reward, sorry. So if you do get here and you have, let's say, a $500 account, 0.01, you have $5,000 cushion. Let's say you're going all in. I don't suggest you do, but if you do, there's no point in risking $5,000, $500 to gain only 100, right? So go 2-to-1. Boom. That's a long-term trade, but it's definitely worth it. I mean, 1K right there. I mean, if you put a position and cash out a K in about a month, why not, right? So that's pretty much it. This is the basics behind Bitcoin. Russ, if you want to add something, I know we have limited time here, but I would like to also open the discussion to the team after this recording.
For sure. Also, just be careful with the trends right now. You don't know. I still see Bitcoin dropping a little bit more than it did, but it could also skyrocket and then retrace again after. I don't know 100% what's going to happen with cryptocurrencies or currencies in general. So just watch what, like Roman said, and see if you can catch it.
Yeah, there are like 4 possibilities right here. One, breaking, testing, and continuing the uptrend to hit the high. It can come to the trend line and go to the high. It can just be consolidating and ranging here, or it can completely break the trend line, this resistance, and go back to the bottom of these. So definitely. So I hope this, guys, I hope this helps. And contact us if you have any questions, if you need any help. Again, we're no gurus, so if you also have any extra nuggets you want to teach us, don't be shy. We're open-minded individuals. We're open-minded entrepreneurs. So we'll definitely look forward to that. I appreciate every single one of you.